25-yard line. First play and a first throw for Rodgers. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete for the Vikings here hosting Green Bay in the season opener. And they've got one of those quirks in the schedule that is going to work in their favor. They play all three of their division home games in the first 5 weeks of the year. After Green Bay today, they'll host Detroit in week 3 and then Chicago in week 5. And he's upended at the 30. Good pickup of 8. An early test. 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Here's Rodgers to throw. He'll find Jones again, complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. This will wind up a loss on the play. And it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Cook again. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he fires one, but incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Shotgun now for Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. Finding room at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Rodgers. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. A big play there on the catch and run, and it'll give him a fresh set of downs.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones taking it in from a yard out. And the Packers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Crosby with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Packers 7, Vikings 0. Mason Crosby to kick off for Green Bay.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
Adam Thielen, a terrific wide receiver and synonymous with Minnesota football. You go back to high school, college ball in the state, and now his 9th season with the Minnesota Vikings. 10 touchdown catches last season, makes a nice catch there.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 25 yards that time.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
On second down, it's Cook again. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot. Maybe. Call it 4th and inches. Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. It's Cousins on the sneak. Yeah, boy, that's going to be close. He didn't get much at all there, but he got the first. Looked like they might have held him defensively, but the referee signals it will be a first down.
I think in this situation, all you want to do is make sure your guys are set up front. No one jumps, no penalties. Sometimes you don't even call cadence, just go and pick it up.
Yeah, because it's on them. I mean, the quarterback's job's pretty easy there.
It really is. You talk about inches, just go get it.
So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And the Vikings are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They wanted to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here. This drive's taken up quite a bit in the first quarter. Now they are set up 1st and goal.
Trying the power game with Ham. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. C.J. Ham taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings are an extra point away from evening this run. Rosas good with the extra point. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready to get their next drive underway. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some...
Now look out, Rodgers. Jones hit and the ball's out. 7-7, our score after 1.
Score time, 7-7.
The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. from the shotgun to give to Jones. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Throwing is Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll kick it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Cousins going to bat it forward here on the jet sweep. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Cook up the gut. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Preston Smith there on the stop. This defense tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
Looking to throw on second down. Cousins. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
On third down, Cousins. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. On is Jake Bailey to send this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they run into every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want it in with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv, and you run into a tough crowd.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Open man, here is Cobb. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Excellent play there on third down. Give him 25 yards. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam. But notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
But he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defensive credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now Rodgers. And he'll just get rid of it.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
The kick by Crosby is good, and they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
Nwogu now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Cook following the penalty. And he's got room. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 46 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. That was huge after being behind the chains on first down to make this second very manageable.
Yeah, how much pride do you have in an offense on first down to get that kind of yardage? Because it actually opens up your playbook on second down. You can run it, you can throw it, you keep a defense off balance. I like that phrase, stand ahead of the chains, and they're doing exactly that.
He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
he'll be stopped right at midfield. That good for 19 and a first down. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, and this is most definitely the guy you want running the football when you need the tough yards on third down. And he moves the chains and then some as he shakes off that first contact. And as they said in the 70s, he just keeps right on trucking.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Okay, so roughing the passer, and I've got to imagine that's the last thing you want to see week one as your quarterback taking an unnecessary hit.
I think you're exactly right about that. You hate it any week, but boy, are you on target. This is a unit that's depending on him to take him through 17 games, so you definitely can't let him get hurt right now.
Big Kenny Clark that time, pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty, but when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. They'll try to throw now. Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And some room to run now. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 38 yards. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Roses to add the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10.
Makes the score Vikings 21, Packers 10.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw taken in by Watkins here. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 37. Throwing now is Rodgers. He'll find Lazard here over the middle. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. It'll go as a gain of 4. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Rodgers to throw once more. Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play.
Mason Crosby on for the field goal. A 50-yard field goal.
The kick by Crosby is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Nwangu now from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
Take over first down 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Second and 9. Play fake. Cousins. He's letting this one go for Fuller. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to get it back here just past the 35. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
On second and 9, Rodgers. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
And that'll skip out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because someone assigned to how did each play work? Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. First down, here's the run with Cook. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. They run it again with Cook. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 86 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Cousins on first down. No, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. From the gun, it's again to Cook. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now an end around as Cousins will just pop this forward. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today.
Tackled back at the 33-yard line.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. 3rd down, here's a run by Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8. Rosas' kick is good. And the lead now 11, 24-13. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
2nd down, another shot for Jones. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
The duo of Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon split the work in Green Bay last season. Jones was still his excellent self with almost 1,400 all-purpose yards and 10 touchdowns. He even moved into the all-time top 5 for the pack in rushing. No small feat with that franchise's history.
Rodgers' throw is taken in by Jones. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Rodgers now to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Cine. Well, why do you go ahead and spend a 1st-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that, the rookie gets his first interception.
Exactly right, and you're trying to limit the number of plays an offense runs. You're trying to limit the number of possessions they have. And he was a guy that I targeted coming out of college and rated very highly for his playmaking skills on defense.
And now he has his first career interception. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Rashawn Gary, the man to bring him down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback.
Rashawn Gary is a player who's gotten better and better in each of his 3 NFL seasons. And last year, his biggest jump yet with 9.5 sacks and a couple of forced fumbles.
And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. He hit us first, this one from 40 yards out. Rosas' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to start one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a second and long. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. Now Rodgers, gotta have this one. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Andrew Booth picks it off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, how about that? You use a high draft pick on this guy back in April, hoping he'll grow into a role as the season progresses. And now look at this, a pick six in his very first NFL game.
Sometimes the evaluation doesn't match what the kid brings to the table. He progressed quickly.
They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the one. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the two-point attempt is turned aside. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
To throw again on second down, Rodgers. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 27 yards there, a first down. Now, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first three quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And again, it's Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. This offense so far on third down, just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 4. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Lewis Cine. And the Vikings will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Following the interception, Cousins. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. play fake. Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Left side, Cook. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
On 3rd down, Cousins. We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Now Crosby for the point after. And that will cut this lead down to 13.
Makes the score Vikings 33, Packers 20.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And the pick 6 we just saw makes things a little more interesting. Still, though, a 2-possession game as they control their destiny in this 4th quarter. 115 yards rushing for him now here in week 1. A very solid start to this new campaign. 2nd down, they go right back to Cook. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And Cook has it left side. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. On the return. Now on the return. Oh, no, the ball is loose. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And the Vikings are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4. At the 45-yard line.
Running the jet sweep. This is Thielen with it. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
I
think the reason this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back off.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Irv Smith Jr., 31 yards. And the Vikings are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their fourth quarter lead.
I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time. Looking at week one, oh good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week one. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, two sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one.
Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So they get pushed back to the